Hello, hello. Welcome back to our third game of what has already been a pretty exciting best-of-3 series between Ben's Party and Executors in the Crosspoint Dota Open League. I'm Penguin, and joining me is Rob. How are you doing, Rob?
I'm great. Looking forward to seeing another good game, but I'm not liking this Lone Druid pickup.
Hey, well, they did it last time. And if you notice, it was interesting because Executors actually banned the Lone Druid first. Like, they picked him, they had first pick in the first game, banned him in the second game, and then picked him again in this game. The only difference being is that Lifestealer is coming out as their ban. Otherwise, Nyx Assassin, Wisp, Batrider, all bans again. Very common bans. Wisp's global relocate abilities, Nyx Assassin with Vendetta Mana Burn and his Line Impale stun, and Batrider's ability control. And as a counter picks, we're going to see the Keeper of the Light again coming out. I believe he's been in all 3 games. And go ahead, expound on your Lone Druid.
There's nothing to expound about. I loathe Lone Druid. Maybe from experiences in pub matches where it's kind of the team can't shut them down properly. You know, you don't have the mentality of the communication to be able to say, right, we're going to shut down this. I just don't like him. And I'm looking forward to his gold on the bow going up to 300 on the bounty.
Radiant team pick.
If you could take over real quick, I have one minor thing to take care of.
No problem. We have the Darkseer, the Shadow Demon coming out for Ben's Party, and we have the Bane and the Lina coming out for Executors, which means that the stuns are going to be there for the Executors. They're going to be able to line up stuns and keep heroes in place. With the Bane, you know, he's going to be able to take down 3 heroes, one with his ultimate, one with the Nightmare and the Enfeeble. The Puck, the Phantom Lancer and the Anti-Mage coming out as the bans, meaning that obviously Ben's Party know that the Executors still need a mid, so they're just going to get rid of as many mid heroes as possible, and then the Executors knowing that the Ben's Party still need the carry, they need the main carry, and just getting rid of all of them, so you know, saying you can't have the Phantom Lancer, you can't have the Anti-Mage, you're going to have to go for something else. The Alchemist being banned out as well, which is pretty ballsy with Ben's, because they still need their carry hero, the same with the Juggernaut. So just waiting on this last ban, it'd be interesting to see. And the Queen of Pain comes out, who was really effective last match. So they pick up the Clockwork on Executors, and I can see him running the off lane, maybe put the Lone Druid, Bane and the Lina into the tri lane, you never know. Or maybe even put the Clockwork on the mid lane. I've seen that being run a few times.
Actually, I'm very surprised that Clockwork and a Luna pickup. I'm surprised that Clockwork hasn't seen more play. I mean, granted, he's getting a slight nerf to his cogs in the upcoming patch with BKB interaction, Rage interaction, but Clockwork's been fast becoming a staple of Dota games. I mean, cogs got up to 5 seconds. Whenever you try and leave the cogs, you get hit. Whenever you get hit twice, actually, you try and break up a team fight. I mean, Clockwork, I love this hero. He's a lot of fun to play, a lot of fun to watch, especially when he gets that Aghanim Scepter up in his 12-second hook shots. On the converse side, we got Ben's Party getting a Luna pickup, going their hard carry role. Looks like a defensive tri-lane, or maybe even, you know what, I don't know. I can't make that call. But they do have a Darkseer, so they're still looking for a mid. Probably a defensive tri-lane and Darkseer in the lane. Shadow Demon synergizing with Luna and the Keeper of the Light very well, especially once they hit level 2. Soul Catcher amplifying the damage that Luna and Keeper will do with Lucent Beam and Illuminate respectively. It's going to be a very strong lane, especially going up against Lina Bane, and it looks like Lina Bane Gyro tri-lane. Clockwork's going to have to be excuse me, Clockwork's going to have to be careful not to get picked off in that try.
And I'd just like to point out that the Magnus still is in the pool, so with the Illuminate and the wall coming out from the Darkseer, and especially with the Lunar Ultimate as well, I think that would synergize really well, just forcing all the Executors into one area and then just picking them off.
No, I'm surprised Magnus got this far.
Dragon Knight.
And a Dragon Knight, so
What? What is this Asian Dota
Yeah.
now? What's going on? I love the Dragon Knight pick. I mean, he's a viable mid, and who's he gonna go against? It might.
Honestly,
I don't
looking at the
know.
lanes, I'd expect Gyrocopter to be mid.
Yeah,
Maybe
I agree
throw
with you.
Lone Druid, Bane, Lina into tri-lane, Clockwork in the off-lane. But I guess we're going to find out now, and this is what we were looking forward to, something that isn't the standard meta. You know, both teams are going to play something a bit different, and I'm really going to enjoy watching this.
Alrighty, I hear you. It's the first time we're seeing a Bane too. I love Bane personally. I love doing Priestess of the Moon with Bane. Makes hitting your arrows the easiest thing in the world. But on your Radiant team, we have Executors, Baffic on the Lone Druid, and he's actually sending his bear mid. Thu, taking the Clockwork, is sitting mid. Interesting. So they're gonna do. They're gonna do this defensive tri-lane, Nightmare, Light Striker Ray, and Homing Missile combo. On the Bane, you have Souls Hunter, Van Dushin taking up the Lina with her adorable little witch's hat, and finally on the Gyrocopter, we have Sierra.
So, on the Dire side, running on the Dragon Knight, we have the El Coco Loco. Running on the Darkseer, we do have Mike. And then on the tri-lane, we have Wicked on the Shadow Demon, Luff on the Keeper of the Light, and I'm just going to call him Warner, because that looks what it looks like. Warner on the Luna.
And they're gonna find this bear, and they're trying to do exactly what they did, what Baffic did on the Lone Druid the first time. He's pinging his bear. He's not gonna be able to force 2 creep waves back into his tier 1 tower like he did before. Excuse me. He can pick up the illusion rune top, and is he going middle, or is he? You know what? He may just be going straight into the jungle, and that's what it looks like with the Clockwork taking the mid lane against Dragon Knight.
Yeah, and I didn't expect to see Clockwork mid.
I didn't either.
So, like I say, I'm really going to enjoy seeing how this turns out. But I think running the Darkseer still in the lane, while you're running this Lone Druid in the jungle, it's going to give the advantage to the Dire, because the Darkseer, excuse me, is going to be able to pick something up, and he's going to be able to deny something, if you know what I mean. Whereas this Luna on top is just going to get free farm.
Exactly. No, that's very true. I mean, and I don't know if you caught it, but Darkseer just got nuked down. He's leaving. He's already leaving. Screw this lane. I want nothing to do with this lane. I'm gonna go into the jungle, and that's. I mean, at that point, that's what you have to do. Between Nightmare setting up for your Light Striker Ray, had Gyrocopter been up there with Rocket Barrage, he would have been dead. And on top of that, he hadn't. What most Darkseers will do when they run into the off lane is they won't skill anything, because if they can get away with leveling Ion Shell at level 1, they'll do it. But otherwise, they want to keep it open just in case they have to surge. He already skilled Ion Shell whenever he went down there, and had he gone down there with Gyrocopter on him as well, that would have been first blood.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't mind the Darkseer. I like to see the Darkseer played, but I think with what happened last time, what happened in the first match where the Darkseer just got phased out, I'd like to see another offlaner come through, maybe the Windrunner. Because she has a Windwalk away, she has a power shot, so she can farm from range, and I think it'd be a lot more effective, especially with the builds now, than the Darkseer.
And we're gonna see a first blood. Actually, I totally missed it, so we're gonna keep track. So we're 1 for 3. Rotating supports, able to do the damage. Nightmare, Light Striker Ray, you can do Battery Assault and the Flare. I mean. It's a very dangerous combo, and Dragon Knight's gonna take a fall very early. Toby 2.0, you know it, we got this. Next thing you know, we'll have a drinking game about it. It's gonna be great. In the meantime, Ben's party is clearing out. That's a double stack, triple stack, double stack on their supports, trying to get their supports some early levels. I was actually gonna bring that up earlier. I was curious whether or not the supports of Ben's party were going to be as effective as the supports of Executors were last game. And I mean, we talked about it a lot. We have another gank coming out on the middle lane, Nightmare coming out, on Assault, Brainsap, almost taking out the Dragon Knight. And they're not even using smokes. They're just running in, trying to set things up. I mean, and Lina's actually does not have a point in Dragon Slave. She opted to put a point in Fiery Soul. So had she gotten... They're actually dual laning this. They are zoning out the Dragon Knight by dual laning mid.
Radiant's top tower.
And that's a good strategy in my eyes anyway, because you've got to think Dragon Knight is going to be not the main carry, but he's going to be maybe the second position hero. So if you just freeze his farm out, what's he going to be able to do late game? What's he going to be able to do mid game even?
No, it's very good. And to be honest, what most people... I'll be honest with you, I hate tri-lanes. I think they're really boring. The only way that I've found to effectively counter tri-lanes is to do 2-2-1s, and you put the 1 always in the tri-lane, and your dual lanes shut down their solos, which overall gives you, when it's all said and done in the middle game, you have higher leveled characters, and so they can do more damage effectively. Especially considering that you have your supports, who are mostly casters, being able to deal some decent damage. I really like it. I really like seeing things like this. The Dragon Knight is a good pickup. I really do like him as a hero, especially whenever he hits level 6 and gets his poison in Elder Dragon form. But Executors are really making him work for his farm, and Clockwork's going to bottle up a regen rune. So, Dragon Knight, you got a lot more harass coming your way.
And this is the Lena's rotated back to mid now to be the support, to be pulling. But I just think, is that a bottle coming in now? No. Oh, it's a bottle being taken away for the Dragon Knight. So the Dragon Knight is bottle crowing, which isn't as good as the rune control, but it does mean you get to stay on the lane, you get to take your farm, your experience.
Exactly. I mean, he's also, and if you noticed, he's got 2 points in the Dragon's Blood now, instead of maxing Breathe Fire. Probably to give himself that bonus health regen and armor in case those games keep coming.
Yeah, and it just keeps him up there, it keeps him alive, and like you say, if the ganks do come in, he's just that bit harder to burst down, and I think he needs that for mid for that early game survivability.
Yeah, I mean, and there's Clockwork popping his regen, probably because he had the 2 minutes were up. Cool. Oh, and he caught him. He caught him in the cogs. He's going to start using his battery assault. He's going to throw out Dragon's Tail to stun him and get away. But I mean, that you can't farm. You're forced to burn your mana on stuns. At least he's level 6 because he's had solo experience this entire time.
Yeah, but if you look as well, I know he popped the bottle, but how quickly El Coco Loco got his health back up. Exactly. It didn't go down a lot to begin with, but it was just instant. But it looks like there's another gank coming in now with Alina coming in on the left and the Bane coming in on the right.
Bane on the right. Is Lina smoked as well? I'm missing
Yep.
it. Yes, she is. Alright, here they go. Here they go. Nightmare. Set up into the Light Striker. Oh, Cogs first. Light Striker 8. He's going to go Dragon for him. Dragon Slave is going to cut through. Dragon's Tail is going to be used. Brain Sap. And they need one more lesson. And the hook shot is used. He got it. He got level 6 off of that creep wave. And that is 2 kills on your Dragon Knight. Very good rotations by the supports. Basically forcing middle to be won. Very good play. And it makes sense. I mean, look at Gyro. He's got 45 CS. He's beating Luna's CS.
And that's it, he's being left on his own, and I think that's what the last couple of games needed. They needed these early kills to be able to shut down the carry, so it's not just... It didn't turn into a farm game, but early on it was very much like the carry's farm, and then we'll go about the team fights when it's convenient for us.
I mean, but you look at in game 2, I mean, Executors was double pulling and ensuring that their gyrocopter was going to get farm in that top lane. No, it wasn't a gyrocopter, that was game 1. Who's the carry last? Anti-Mage was going to get farm in their top lane. But they also farmed their supports by double pulling. Whereas in this situation, you have Darkseer being forced in the jungle, so he's farming your right half of the dire jungle's 3 camps. And Keeper of the Light and Shadow Demon have been stacking the hard camp by the tier 1 tower of Radiant. And we have a gank going on in the middle lane, which I'm going to cut to. Oh, Shadow Demon's going to take a lot of damage from Cogs, and Rocket's going to pick off the kill. Bane also... Oh, Bane's going to get it with his auto attack. Oh, hookshot coming in. Cogs are on cooldown, so they're not going to be able to be used. Skill Entangle's coming up. Bear is rotating in. Baffic, and they're going to take down Dragon Knight. Cog use. That Cog use there was gross. He was able to push back Dragon Knight, disabling him while he was in the Entangle route. 4-0. Very good plays. This Dragon Knight's really hurting for farm, considering he's been ganked 3 times. And
yeah, and this, you can see the supports rotating in for every one of these ganks, and that's another way to get the levels up. They're going to be getting the good gold, and it just contests where the Shadow Demon and the Keeper of the Light were trying to farm up the creep camps. If the supports for the Radiants just rotate in, it gets better as well because they're stopping this the Dragon Knight from getting the farm.
What does Luna? Does Luna? Excuse me. Luna has something on check. Okay, she has drums coming out to her. So right now, the farm war. Gyro is beating Luna by 100 GPM, which is huge. I mean, they both have. Well, his boots are expensive. Gyro's boots are more expensive. He has the phase boots done and drums. Dragon Knight's coming down bottom because he can't sit in the middle lane. He keeps getting ganked. Whereas Luna has tranquil boots, which cost a lot less, and her own drums, but she doesn't have a magic wand. So yeah, you can see where the gold's coming in. But I mean, Luna hit 6. I feel like she should have TP'd into the middle lane and used Eclipse, used her ultimate to do something. I mean, there comes a point, and it's a mark of good carries and people with good map awareness, is that you guys are farming and you're dying. Our Dragon Knight has now died 3 times. When do I take it upon myself to stop farming and go help the team? And don't get me, I mean, we've talked about it before, farming your carry is important. It's very important. But when do you make the decision that, oh, I should be there for that team fight?
Exactly. You can see now the Dragon Knights rotate to the bottom, they put the Darkseer in the middle, and it looks like they're going to get another gank off on the top.
It looks like the Shadow Demon isn't going to be able to last. And there's your Eclipse coming out, though. Shadow Demon is going to go down, as well as the Luna. Clockwork rotating in, getting a hook shot on the Luna, putting her in the cogs and battery assault. And they're trying to pick off the Kata now. Light Strike Array is going to miss. But nope, Lone Druid's going to pull his bear back. Another 2-for-0 trade. It's 6-0. I mean, things are looking good for Ben's party, especially considering that this Clockwork, he's got mana boots, he's got his bottle, he's sitting on another Grand, Dragon Knight, brown boots, and a bottle. And that's it. And he was forced to ulti into his Elder Dragon form. Excuse me, there we go, I can talk. And in the meantime, Gyro, who's still being left alone, now has an Ogre Club. He's rushing into that BKB again, and he's just going to get more scary.
Yeah, at this point I think it's more sensible to try and rotate your tri-lane from the top to the bottom to just, even if it's just to deny the Gyrocopter farm. And I mean, if you look at it now, he's on his own, so you could go aggressive, you could get a gank, you could slow his farm, but they just keep him at the top, and it's not as effective as, you know, rotating down and being able to take out that carry.
I mean, again, we've talked about it a lot, is these supports. Executor supports are coming up huge, primarily because of the setup. We already have almost a 3,500 gold advantage in the Radiant side. Primarily because of how Ben's party has laned against them. I mean, they completely let Gyrocopter do his own thing, and as a result, the supports are your game changers. Oh, we got a gank going out here. Surge into Dragon's Tail. Ion Shell's on him. Breathe Fire coming out. Call Down's going to come down, slowing them down. Battery Assault, Rocket Barrage, excuse me, I always get those two spells confused, is going to come out, and he's just going to get away. They're going to try a Surge into another Dragon's Tail, but Lena's rotating in. She's almost level 6. And that's going to be the end of it.
Yeah, you can see the Gyrocopter pops the drums, and then he pops his phase boots. And then, you know, with the call down, that slow on the call down, it's basically, well, I'm going to go fast, and you're going to stay here, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, actually, a couple things there. For one, the way Gyrocopter's ultimate works is that his first rocket slows you and deals less damage, and his second rocket deals more damage and slows you less. Big Dragon's Tail coming out. I don't know why they're going on this, considering Luna... Lena, excuse me. This is going to be a nightmare for this game. Lena's right here, throwing out her Light Strike Array, taking Darkseer down to very low health. Dragon Knight doesn't have the mana to TP! They're gonna... And there's another call down. 70-second call down, and that's a dead Dragon Knight. That's the 4th death? 4th death on Dragon Knight? 4th death on Dragon Knight.
Yeah, and he's looking like... To me, they should have picked up a ranged hero. I know when the Band Pill came out, there wasn't a lot left. But
Magnus was in the pool, though, remember?
Exactly. And he just has... The Dragon's Breath is good, it is, but the skewer into Shockwave, it's not as effective. Exactly. So the Dragon form, I don't think is as effective early game as it needs to be, especially when you're getting ganked every 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and the other thing that I was going to comment about the gyrocopter, Lena gave him a healing salve, and before he used the healing salve, he dropped his Ogre Club and he dropped his Drum of Endurance. And if you don't know what that does, the way healing works in the game, whenever you pick up items that give you more health, it adds to your health pool, but your existing health also gets increased by this. Like, if you have 75% health and you pick up health items, your health will maintain at 75%. So what Gyrocopter did was he took away the strength items that gave him health so that he would have a lower percent of health missing. He dropped down to like 700 health. He used the salve, it brought him up to about 500, 600 health, and then picked the items back up, and that gave him overall about 1,000 leftover health. Very good play by him. You don't see it a lot, but it's very rewarding to see when people do their like tread toggles and skills of that nature. And yes, going back to what you said, supports again have been huge. I didn't even realize Shadow Demon had DC'd, but apparently he's back. I guess Ben's party didn't notice it either. The Tier 1 tower is going to get pressured. Hookshot is on cooldown for another 15 seconds, but we may see some initiation here soon.
And I think this Dragon Knight's too far forward, especially to be on his own. If that hookshot comes in, it's only got 6 seconds left on cooldown. He's caught out in the middle of nowhere because those cogs go up, and there's no way for his team to come and help him because, I mean, you can't get past cogs. No one's, or the patch isn't even up, so BKB is useless at the moment. And Ben's party, they need to work on the positioning here because that's what's catching them out a lot of times.
Well, another thing, and we've been mentioning it all series, is wards.
Exactly.
Do they have wards available? They have 2 wards. They have 2 sets of wards available, whereas Executors have 3 wards on the map. Any in their inventories? None in their inventories. I see that Clockwork has a DD. This tower is going to definitely go down. Bane's going to eat the majority of an Illuminate. We have Dragon Knight trying to be a man. Stuns the Bane. In skill entangles, we got a hookshot coming in. Cogs is going to not really do anything, but Shadow Demon's going to get burned down by Laguna Blade and Dragon Slave. We got Gyrocopter manning up, throwing out his battery assault, or his rocket barrage, and throwing out his call down. He's just trying to deal as much damage as he can. Oh, skill entangles on the Darks here, taking him out too. Just too much right now from Executors. And there goes the tower on Lone Druid Siege ability. And he just, wow.
Clockwork denies himself to
Roshan. He cogged the entrance so that he could not, the Dragon Knight couldn't follow him in, and then got denied by Roshan. Big plays coming out by Clockwork. And Luna's going to kill Lena, and Luna's going to get picked up herself. And BKB is now on the Gyrocopter at 16 minutes. That's very scary. Very, very scary. I think you're trying to talk, but I also think you're breaking up really bad. Yeah, no, yes. Know the difference between Luna and Lena. It is... I hate when they're in the same games. It catches me up so bad.
It's just something we need to get used to. But this Lena's teleporting bottom now, and the Darkseer. Darkseer is too far up, he gets caught out by the cogs, and the Laguna Blade comes out.
It's on top of a Light Strike Array and Battery Assault, you're dead. They took out the Creep Wave on top of it with the Light Strike Array and the Dragon Slave.
This is what I'm saying about positioning. I know, obviously, with the Lena teleporting in, there's no way to know that. But you have to be aware, if you can't see her on the map, there's every chance she's going to rotate and gank you.
I also want to point out that Lena is doing the boot swapping. She's not tread swapping, she's boot swapping. And I love seeing this on support heroes. She has the ability to build Tranquil Boots on herself, but also goes Mana Boots. And she just swapped it, so I saw her items drop. You'll see it. What she does is she activates the Mana Boots, and then she'll disassemble them and turn them into Tranquil Boots, and just carry an energy booster on her so that she has an increased mana pool. And then whenever a team fight is ended, so that she can stay out in the field, she'll swap her Mana Boots into Tranquils and heal up. And I hear a stun going out. Bane's not going to be able to get his Nightmare off, but we almost have a hookshot up. 4 seconds. Bane's going to throw out the Fiend's Grip. That is a dead Shadow Demon.
And this is a long way back for Ben's party now. It's not impossible, but they really need to be sensible with the ganks. They need to be getting the vision. They need to be getting these, getting to the right positions for the ganks. But it just looks like Executors are going to group up now and just try and take as many team fights as possible.
Well, I mean, they have it's almost a 10,000 gold lead. Nightmare going out, and they're misclicks by the lone druid, and then a missed hook shot. The way Nightmare operates, for those of you that don't know, is if you are Nightmared and somebody right-clicks you, the Nightmare then transfers to you. So as a result, Lone Druid's Bear received the ire of the Nightmare, and they were unable to connect with Dragon Knight.
Toughened up their structures.
Yeah, this is not looking good. What are our levels? Level 14 on Gyro, followed by Luna at level 10, and then some more 10s on the Dire side.
Trouble brewing
And
the
Radiant side, excuse me, and then the Radiant supports are at 8 and 7. Both of them have their ultimates, as we've seen already. Whereas Shadow Demon does not have the advantage of Purge to use either on the Bear or Luna, the Bear or Gyrocopter whenever he tries to run in with his cooldown and Rocket Barrage. Actually, if he's not careful, he might get eclipsed. Gyrocopter on the top lane.
The Dragon Knight just popped level 10 now, and usually you're expecting to be higher up. I'd expect to be around level 12, higher up than the Lone Druid, who was forced into the jungle. And if you look at his items, oh, he's got his power treads. He's got a stout shield and a magic wand, yeah, but for 19 minutes in, that's not what you need on a Dragon Knight.
Yeah, of course. I mean, normally, 19 minutes in, you probably have us. Uh-oh, Clockwork just picks off solo kill on... Oh, it was a gank. I lied. Clockwork with DD coupled with Fiend's Grip was used. Laguna's Blade was not used, but Lightstrike Array and Dragon Slave. I mean, big plays by their supports coming out. Clockwork easily able to latch a hook into cogs. And they're going to lose a tier 2 tower now as a result of it. But Dragon Knight, going back to the Dragon Knight, common items at this point. You have your treads, you probably also have a soul ring, so you're able to spam it your breathe fire and continue farming. And then it really depends on what you're going. You can go Armlet on Dragon Knight, you can go Dominator on Helm of the Dominator, start stacking camps because your ultimate cleaves. Or the Chinese scene, they would build Pipe and just give Dragon Knight a ton of HP regen and make him really tanky.
Yeah, and he's really missing, without any items, he's not been effective at all, and this is what I was saying before. He needed to rotate down to that bottom lane sooner. He needed to contest the Gyrocopter farm when Gyrocopter was on his own, and it just didn't happen. And now he's running at a real disadvantage. I mean, if you look at the experience, it's nearly 8,000, 9,000, 9,000, roughly.
I mean, and that's... You can see it in the levels. You can see it in the heroes. Oh, please tell me I can make that go away. Okay, good. I got concerned because sometimes in pause you're not allowed to open... Like, if you're the team that pauses, you're not allowed to open your secret shop or the shops or anything, so you can't Merlini tactical pause, quote-unquote, or puppy tactical pause. And so I was afraid that the XP graph and the gold graphs would be stuck up. But fortunately, that is not the case. The fine coders at Valve know what they're doing with our lovely, lovely Dota 2 game. Let's see. Let's look over these heroes real quick while we have this pause. Lena's sitting on another 1,500 gold, on top of being able to alternate between 2 sets of boots. Bane also has his mana booties up. Clockwork has finished his mech, has a point booster, and has almost another 1,000 gold, so he's well on his way to his Aghanims. As we mentioned earlier... Wait a minute. I thought Gyrocopter had a BKB. Okay, it's on the ground. I was like, where did Gyrocopter's farm go? This is awful. Gyrocopter has picked up a Demon Edge already, as well as his BKB, and Lone Druid. Let's click on his bear to get a better idea. Where are you, bear?
So,
He just has his armlet.
Quick question for the Gyrocopter. I can see that Demon Edge. Rapier?
The knife in the coffin as a rapier? I don't know.
Yeah.
They may be... I don't know. They may do it... They may do it just because... Bad-mannered early offensive GGs. I mean, we'll see what happens. Nothing would be more rude than seeing a Gyrocopter barreling down your lane with a rapier. More realistically, it'll probably be a... I'm brain farting here. It'll
Monkey
probably
King
be
Bar,
a Monkey
maybe?
King Bar. Yeah, that.
And I mean, the Monkey King Bar is good. It's a good pickup, but it's not needed at the moment. It might be needed later on if Luna picks up a butterfly, but at the moment she's only sitting on Yasha and drums, which, you know, it isn't really effective. And I know I keep saying Ben's party behind, but that's because Executors, like I said last match, they're just making Ben's party play at their rhythm. They're slowing down the game when they need to, they're picking up the pace when they want to go for the ganks, and Ben's party just can't get used to it at the moment.
Well, I mean, and those were the ganks. It was. It was really. Ganks are everything. I mean, the early game rotations, Gyrocopter being able to free farm, and I know we're repeating ourselves, but that is why the game has rotated this way. Ben's party is on a huge back foot, and I mean, don't get us wrong. I mean, they can come back from this. It is only 7,500 gold. Luna is decently farmed, but the amount of nuke that is available, to Executors, Luna's gonna run in, then what? Laguna Blade, Hookshot, Call Down, Fiend's Grip. I mean, they can pick any one hero, and who better to do it than Luna, who's going to be the main source of DPS. I mean, Dragon Knight, yeah, okay, he has 86 damage, that's a decent bit, but after armor resistance and such, he's only dealing about 60 or 50 damage a hit, whereas Gyrocopter's hitting your entire team. Goodbye supports, goodbye Shadow Demon, goodbye Caudle. You can get maybe one set of their spells off and then they're dead.
Yeah, I think the Luna owner, as I'm going to be calling him from now on, he needs to rush at BKB. Because if he is going to be initiating with his ultimate, he needs to be able to stand in the middle and say, you can only attack me, you can only auto-attack me, there's nothing else you can do that's going to harm me, and while you're auto-attacking me, the rest of my team is going to come in and they're going to focus down. And I'd like to see them take down the supports first. I know that the Gyrocopter has to go down, but the supports need to go down first, otherwise it's going to be stun after stun after stun.
Exactly. And I mean, see, and that's the thing, though. You have this Bane pickup. Fiend's Grip goes through BKB. So even if Luna's popped her BKB, she may not be able to auto-attack through it. I mean, granted, Eclipse does a lot of damage considering that she has max Lucent Beam, I'm assuming, yeah. So, it's really going to depend on, again, the initiation, what's going to happen. And that's the biggest problem that Ben's party has, and also why we're struggling with that's also why we were struggling with this DK pick, because you would have gone a Magnus, there's your initiation.
Exactly. You get a blink there up on your Magnus, and if you skewer away two heroes, they are two heroes that are out of position. They're two heroes that you can engage on, and it's two heroes that you can take down and potentially kill.
I mean, and I believe it was, let's see, Magnus was in our first game. And he was, I believe it was Executors who had him. He was putting on a clinic, with the Magnus. Oh, there's a hero exposed. Blink Skewer. Oh, look, we caught Gyrocopter. Now what do? You don't have Flat Cannon. You can't counter push us. You don't have Call Down. I mean, Magnus would have been a fantastic pickup. Or, I mean, even Puck probably would have been doing better than Dragon Knight in this situation.
Puck was banned out, so...
Oh, was he? I didn't catch
yeah.
it. Okay. That makes sense then why it was a pick. Queen of Pain could have possibly been another alternative, unless she was banned out as well, which she probably was.
All right,
my luck.
carry on.
Yep, Queen of Pain was banned out. So we are looking at another pause, so let's carry on with the discussion. I don't know what happened there. Obviously they jumped the gun on the unpause, but if you look at the Clockwork was a mid-hero. I wouldn't even say he was I'd say he was when I can speak, playing position 3. But he's still got the mech up, he's still got his wand up, he's got his mana boots up, he's got a bottle with a regen rune, he's got the point booster, and he looks like he's going for his... That's not what a 3 should be having if you're shutting him down correctly. But because he could get the cogs off, because he could get the ganks, because the supports were rotating in, he was having a field day, and he was just saying, you know, what are you going to do? I have my supports here, I have Lone Druid in the jungle, if you come in for a gank, I can hook away, I can cog away. He was basically invincible.
No,
if we look at the actual deaths, he's died once, he has 4 kills, 4 assists, so the gold from that, it's just put him way ahead.
In fact, I'm interested as to what I just got really confused because I thought my I thought, you know how you can sequentially order kills, deaths, and assists, etc. So it goes from highest to lowest. It's all of the Radiant team and then all of the Dire team. Like that's it. But no, what I'm interested in what the gold per minute is. 358 on your mid clockwork. No, you're right. I mean, he shouldn't have that level of farm. What's his net worth? 7,300 gold. He's almost identical with Lone Druid.
Exactly, and you see the Luna with the bouncing blades. I know she only got them late on, but she should be up there. She should be between either Lone Druid and Gyrocopter or Lone Druid and Clockwork. But she's not. She's not farmed up enough, which is surprising, seeing as she had a free lane.
Well, Darkseer wall being used as well as a vacuum is able to catch the Lone Druid, but he's getting focused and he's dead. Well, the rest of the team fight's going on bottom. We got Luna getting Fiend Scripted like we mentioned. Call down going to be coming out. Dragon Knight's going down. 4 for nil. BKB popped. Luna even lives. Or Lena even lives. Excuse me. Jesus. Big trade. Coddle's the only one that lives. Clockwork doing his job, splitting up team fights. And it looks like they're going to try and take mid-rags. Mid-tier 3 tower.
Yeah, and it's the strongest lane. You know, they've still got all 3 towers up on the lane there, and there's no reason why they can't push in. Even if they don't take the tower, they just push it so they can have the advantage to take Roshan.
Exactly. In fact, that's what they're going to do right now. I'm still moused over Lena, so I found out that she is a Ghost Scepter now. That's where all of her money was going. Keeper of the Light has almost, on the other side, Keeper of the Light is finally almost finishing up the mechanism. Clockwork, 1,700 gold, getting closer and closer, working his way up to that MKB. And the bear for Lone Druid has a Hyperstone, so he's attacking infinitely faster, and Gyro's going to pick up his Aegis, and he's going to buy his first Javelin. So yeah, he's going in MKB on the Gyrocopter, and now they're going to push, because why not at this point? How are you going to stop them? His BKB is going to be up in 10 seconds by the time they're ready to push the base, and the siege is going to, oh boy, losing track of the camera, and the siege is just going to start.
Yeah, and that Burr, it's just going to run in with the armlet, with his, taking down the towers with his demolish. It's just going to be, well, what can you do? You either burst down the Burr or you burst down the Gyrocopter, but you can't take us both.
Exactly. And you're going to see, I don't even know what that spell's actually called, Battlecry being used on the bear. He's going to try and they're going to just, I am Dragon Knight and I don't care. You're going to see Call Down coming out, maybe, oh, Clockwork. Kind of cock-blocking his teammate inside the cogs, but Luna's going to get caught in the Fiend's Grift, coupled with missiles and, oh goodness, offensive disruption being used. Dragon Knight going down, but there goes the Aegis, and it has popped. Wall coming out, we got a Nightmare on the Darkseer. Tier 3 towers down, Darkseer get Light Striker Raid, coupled with Dragon Slave, and the GG is called. 23-minute GG. Wow.
That is absolutely insane. I was hoping to see a longer match, but obviously Executors have just come in, they've dominated, they've taken the match, and they've taken a 2-1. So that's going to be Executors taking the first points of the Crosspoint League.
Yeah, indeed it is. Just gotta wait for this game to actually end. Luna's still in it. Micring out the Gyrocopter. Just have to wait for this fountain to explode. Very, very good play by Executors. Oh my goodness. It makes me think of the Pokemon Execute, and it's been throwing me off this entire time.
Yeah,
very
getting stuck between Executors, Executioners, you know.
Yeah. No, very, very strong showing. Very commanding way to come back, and there's your fountain explosion. So we're gonna take a quick break, guys, and then we're gonna actually get Bafik in for a little bit of an interview. So if you'll stick around for a couple minutes, we'll get that up in a second.